Welcome back to the lab. It is your old Professor Pilk, and we have got to talk about the incoming 7-star Tera Raid that's actually dropping this Thursday in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now, of course, this is another starter. This time we're dealing with a grass starter. Actually, Decidueye's final form is actually Grass Ghost. So we've got some interesting choices here. And the Tera type is going to be Flying, which is going to lock us down to really only one possible type to take into this event. Take the back. There will be other types, but only one typing that is going to be effective from an offensive perspective. So let's go ahead and take a look here and jump in. Now, we're going to refresh this a little bit because it's been a while since we've had a 7-star raid. I know we had Pikachu, but I didn't really cover him on the channel because it was kind of like underwhelming, and the event was pretty simple. But if you remember back to Greninja, Greninja's going to be a lot more in tune with what we were dealing with here. Okay, so level 100 Mon. You will need level 100 Mon for this. They're not shiny. You can only catch one. That's it. That's it. Tera type in this situation with Greninja was flying. Or I'm sorry, with Greninja it was poison. Flying Greninja would be interesting. There's a whole joke about flying frogs. I'm not going to go there. Greninja was poison. We are dealing with flying with Decidueye. Ability is always the hidden ability, but rarely does it do much of anything. The only thing that it might do is if for whatever reason you bring a ghost type, which is not going to be the recommendation, you can actually get hit. But that's about the only thing I could think with Decidueye that's going to be an issue, maybe a potential issue. But I think that's a poor choice to begin with. We have basically 8 different moves here, okay? With, 6 different moves with Greninja, but potentially up to 8. Because remember, Charizard had a sum total of 8 moves. So, with Greninja, we've got Gunk Shot, Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, and Night Slash. That gives us a lot of coverage. On top of that, we had Toxic Spikes and Double Team. Toxic Spikes was interesting, but it wasn't really groundbreaking, I'll say. Only because it really just punches people that get knocked out of battle. And the goal here, obviously, is not to get knocked out of battle. So let's just jump over here to Bulbapedia. Big shout out to Bulbapedia for the information we're going to shamelessly thief from them. So here's Decidueye. We're dealing with not the Hisuian version, but the original Grass Ghost version. That's why Ghost is probably not going to be a really wise choice here. But we need to go all the way down here to the different abilities for this Pokemon. Now, I have not come up with my builds quite yet, but probably by tomorrow afternoon I'll have some really solid builds that you guys can work on to get this going. Okay, we're going to ignore the Hisuian version. Base stats for Decidueye favor physical attack, though special attack is not out of the question. Physical attack's 107, special attack is 100. Speed is 70, special defense, though, is 100, and where physical defense is 75. So, if you can help it, physical attacks will be more effective. So, while you do want to have physical defense, you also want to have physical attacks. That is going to be the one big decision maker here. Now, we need to look at typings for a moment, okay? So, here's the typing chart for a base Decidueye. And base Decidueye is weak to Flying, Ghost, which makes sense because it's Ghost type. And I did say Ghost isn't going to be a great choice here, and I'll explain why here in a moment. Fire, Ice, and Dark. But here's the deal. Remember, this is a Flying type Pokemon. A Flying type Pokemon. So, we got Flying, Ghost, Fire, Ice, and Dark. Flying types really only are weak to Electric, Ice, and Rock if we go to our chart here. This should be pretty current for at least for... I think this is Gen 6, but it shouldn't be. I don't think it's any different for Gen 9. There might be slight differences. So, and it's going to be super effective against Grass, Fighting, and Bug. So it really starts to limit your abilities here. So really, honestly, Ice is going to be your best bet. You really want to start looking at Icemon. Now, there are situations in which other typings would probably be preferable. We'll kind of have to cross that bridge when we come to it. For me personally, I'm going to start preparing my Icemon today. But here's the deal. We need to also look at the different attacks that might be possible. And we're going to kick this off by looking at attacks that are just learned through general evolutions. Now, we have seen TM attacks multiple times. In fact, I think Toxic Spikes with Greninja was a TM only attack. I think so. I think he learned Spikes, but not Toxic Spikes. I'd have to go back and double check that. But there were some TM only attacks that we've seen in previous 7-star battles. So this is not the only chart we're going to pay attention to, but this is the main one. So Spirit Shackle being the evolution attack, being basically one of his defining attacks, and being a power 80 with 100% accuracy, is most likely going to be the ghost attack you're going to be dealing with predominantly. It is ghost physical. It is one of the stronger attacks out there, so you do want to have at least some way to mitigate those ghost attacks, or at least make them less deadly. So if we go back over here to our type chart, Ice is not extra damaged any more proficiently. It is going to be taking normal damage from ghost type attacks, so that is pretty good. You can also do a Tera type that would resist ghost, so that is a distinct possibility, but do keep those things in mind. Now, we will expect a flying type attack. Now, we've got Peck, we've got Pluck, then we got Feather Dance and Brave Bird. Brave Bird's possible, but the thing with Brave Bird, if I recollect, I think Brave Bird is one of those that you can only do, let's just pull it up over here. I think it's one of those that they have to rest after, because it is such a powerful attack. So, your Brave Bird inflicts damage to the user, but receives recoil damage, so you can pretty much rule out Brave Bird. So most likely, you're dealing with something else. Feather Dance is a distinct possibility. Feather Dance most likely will be a thing, but that will probably be an additional skill. So Flying may wind up being, we might get Pluck. Most likely we're going to be going down here to TMs and looking at something in TMs that hits a little bit harder. So we've got our Ghost move. Remember, we're going to have 4 basic moves here. So we got our Ghost move. We do not have a Flying move yet that I believe, but we are going to have a Grass move. Razor Leaf is there. Synthesis is there. Most likely Leaf Blade. That is a power 90 physical attack. So once again, guys, a lot of physical defense here. You're going to want a lot of physical defense. No, there's really nothing in this list that is special attack, but I kind of feel like when we get down to TMs, there will be some special attacks. So I feel right now pretty confident that Spirit Shackle and Leaf Blade will be our mains. There are some dark attacks here. So you've got Sucker Punch, which is highly likely. Highly likely. I don't think anything else here really kind of fits the bill. So we really need to start going down here and looking in TMs. So as far as TMs go, let's go down here. So that's the Hisuian version. Let's go down here to TMs, because there's a lot of these, but we're really looking for high-powered attacks. We're looking for like power 60 minimum, 70 maybe, 80 and up. And anything with like, you know, that is a really, really, really high power attack that has like recoil effects, and that, you know, where they have to rest after and things like that, those are most likely out. So things like your Giga Impact, Frenzy Plant, things like that, these high, I guess high risk, high reward attacks, you can pretty much count those out. So Phantom Force actually being a power 90 physical ghost attack actually is pretty probable. I'm not familiar with Phantom Force, but we can pull it up over here and see what Phantom Force does. Damage dealing attack move introduced in Gen 6. Let's see here. So causes, let's see, we'll go down here to Gen 7. No longer bypasses accuracy checks, nor deals the regular damage against the target that used minimize. Phantom Force cannot bypass. Okay, so this is just extra effects. So Phantom Force hits the target even if it's protected by a protection move. Causes the user to vanish on the turn of the user, making it semi-invulnerable, then appearing in the next turn, causing damage. So actually, since that is like dig and stuff like that, Phantom Force is not going to be one of our options. So we're really going back here, and we can kind of count that out. So I really kind of think now that Spirit Shackle most likely will be our attack. So we need a grass move. Grass Pledge. That's a distinct possibility. Energy Ball is actually pretty likely. That is a grass move. It is special, but remember, special attack is still level 100. So you may have to deal. That might be one of those big things that they use to kind of set you up. So I would say Grass Pledge or Spirit Ball, or I'm sorry, Energy Ball, are both equally likely. I think Shadow Ball's probably out. I really honestly feel like they're going to go physical on the Ghost attack. We have Helping Hands and Baton Toss, but those are all status moves. Giga Impact is a normal, but that's once again one of those high risk, high reward moves. Seed Bomb. I kind of feel like if they're going to do one, they might do Energy Ball or Grass Pledge. Probably are going to be our most likely culprits there. Let's check out what Seed Bomb does, because I don't honestly recollect. It's hard to remember every single move in the game, guys. So, let's see. Effects here. Inflicts damage and has no secondary effect. Does not affect targets with bulletproof. Seed Bomb can't be used as part of a contest. Okay, so it's just a basic attack. It's nothing too crazy, nothing wild. So Seed Bomb possibly. I honestly feel like if I was going to build this, I would honestly go with where was it? I'd probably go with Energy Ball just to mix it up a bit, but that's me. Now, we are going to have a flying type attack, and, so it probably is going to be Hurricane. Hurricane is, and I think we've had a unit that did Hurricane before. Hurricane has a very low accuracy, but if it hits, it is going to hurt. So you need to be able to resist that. I feel like Hurricane is our most likely flying attack here, and it is one of those you want to defend against vehemently. Because if we go down here, Air Slash is only the only other one. It's low. It's 75 with a 95% accuracy. Possible, but I feel like from a raw punishment standpoint, Hurricane might be the one. So keep it out for Hurricane, Energy Ball, and what do we say up here? Probably Leaf Blade, and then Triple Arrow. Well, no, I'm sorry. That's the Hisuian. Leaf Blade and Spirit Shackle. There probably will be Sucker Punch or something like that with a Dark Attack. But once again, those are probably our main ones. There's going to be some status effect that's going to power up those flying type moves. So bear those in mind. Those are the big things you want to be prepared for. Now, once again, this is all just kind of spitballing and basing on what we've seen prior. So there's no guarantees that these are going to be it. And once again, while I do kind of put a lot of weight into the possibility that Energy Ball will be an option, it is worth noting that physical attack is higher, so there's a high likelihood that we will have a grass physical attack. Just personally me, I would just make sure that I don't have a unit that has an insane deficiency in special attack, just in case, because frankly, if you go in there and they start using Energy Ball, it's going to tear your opponent apart, or tear you apart, and that's not going to be a lot of fun. So we're looking at an ice unit with a high physical defense and a high physical attack. I think it's going to be, but you also do want to have a decent amount of special attack just in case that Energy Ball does become a thing. Don't bring someone that is like all physical attack, all physical defense with nothing on the special attack or special defense side, because you're probably going to get taken apart. Special attack, I think, is a mistake. You do want some physical attack. So once again, we're going to base this take all this information we've kind of gathered here, and we're going to go in and we're going to build some Mon tomorrow that you guys can use going into this event. So if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you like, comment, share. Let me know what your thoughts down below. Do you have any other attacks that you think are possible in here, or what status effect you think is going to be put on there? I think it's going to be a flying status attack, something to level up flying moves, or maybe even inhibit certain type of effects. Most likely to level up those flying attacks, though, just because that being the Tera type, it does make the most sense. But for now, like, comment, share. I'll be back with more coming at you guys here regarding this. And, of course, when that Tera Raid drops, we'll also talk about that on Thursday. So like, comment, share. I'll see you guys here for more Pokemon coming up very soon.